Good evening, people. Welcome to something wild, actually. We're making an approach to St Simon International, well, not International, St Simon's tiny little place, General Aviation Airport in Florida. Actually, no, I think it's in Atlanta, Georgia. Anyway, it's a 1,700 meter runway. Arguably, there is no lighting. We're not sure yet. We'll find out shortly. aka what happens when you don't plan properly. Currently coming in at 220 knots, I'm going to set flaps 1. We've got a right turn onto final, I'm going to put my gear down already now. Droppy drop drop. Gear's coming down, we're on a final track now. Let's check the altimeter, so I'll see if I can get a weather readout from there. From the game. St Simon's, okay, it's 3005, good. So that's correct, we're on final lap, everything's armed. Laps 2 going in now. There's the runway. Lights and signs on, runway in sight. We're on RNAV now. Elevation is 19 feet, touchdown zone elevation 16 feet. Runway 5,500 feet long, 100 feet wide. So it's not particularly big. Set flaps 3 now. And we've got 10 miles to 7.5 miles to go. Runway's in sight, we do have a low kind of layer of ground fog here.
2,500.
Wind is 12 from ahead, which is good, that'll help us with the landing. We'll land flaps full. Ultra brake's going to be medium, may switch over to reverse as quickly as possible. So slightly dimmed cockpit, but nothing too drastic. Coming in with 145 knots at the moment. I'd like to reduce that a little bit, so I might well go to manual braking, manual thrust soon. It's a narrow runway and it's a short runway, and we're in an Airbus A320, so it's basically a challenge. Let's see how it goes. 13 knots from ahead, it's going to reduce to 8 by the time we get down to the runway. Just going to turn the screens down slightly as they actually become easier to see when they're not as bright. Yes, it's reporting us too low for the PAPI, but I think the PAPI might be nonsensical.
1,000.
Yeah, PAPI's for 4 degrees actually, which is great for general aviation because they generally fly with 4 degrees, but it's not very good for us. So we'll be using the RNAV information for our approach. There we go, we're nearly there. We don't have centerline lights, we've only got side edge lighting.
$500. 100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
300. 200. 100. 50, 40,
Too low,
30,
terrain.
20, retard.
Touched. Didn't realise there were so many trees. It's a bit mad, isn't it? Okay, off brakes and everything there. It's just about big enough. So there's some nice apron space down here. It's definitely a GA apron. That's going away. That's coming up. Oh, welcome to St Simon. Taxiway is probably only big enough for an air. Yeah. That's a general aviation taxiway. Oh well. Landing in the dark at airports where you shouldn't land in the dark. Basically. Are we going to hit the pylon? That is the question. Are we actually on the taxiway? We are on the taxiway. Watch out for the lighting system there. There we go, we're clear. We can turn off the strobes now. And we can turn the landing lights to normal. Landing rate wise, let's have a look. Probably hard. 207 feet per minute. One of my better landings of late. And we landed before the first taxiway, so that's alright, I suppose. I will actually want to check that out in the daytime, but it does look like there's a tree line. Sort of. It is entirely tree lined. Actually, let's make it daytime and have a look at how mad that was. Okay, so that's the weather. It's a bit of a haze, really. We're drifting, we're drifting. We're going to park up here somewhere. Ah yes, the photogrammetry going through the top of the roof. Perfect. There's photogrammetry. Parking brake. Engines off, there we go. That counts as a nighttime landing. Yeah, 207 feet per minute, 118 knots. Wind was 20 degrees at 14, so we had a double wind basically, so that's why you might have noticed it. I actually had to nose down in the flare to make up for that wildness. Anyway, let's go and have a look and see what the final approach actually looks like if you fly at it with a drone. Because it felt like we kind of sunk into the airport, if that makes sense. And I can kind of see why. There's trees everywhere. We were red on the PAPI the whole time. Something like that is a 3-degree glide path, really. Yeah, so we're coming over the golf course here. Descending, descending, descending. Descending, 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 descending. And there we go. Boom. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty neat, I say. Lovely area by the looks of it. Wouldn't be a bad airport to fly out of if you were a general aviation pilot. Something something left to be said for the state of the terminal building, though. Anyway, I'll see if there's a scenery for this on Flight Sim 2. It could be a cool place to explore.